Hello. Hello. Welcome back. I'm here once again talking about things I don't really understand. Need to make that clear. Please don't follow anything I say. I'm experiencing life in my own way, through my own experience, as we all are, and merely trying to share some of the experiences that I've learned, because some of them I found are relative to me, but I found also sometimes certain experiences are shared throughout all of humans, or a majority, or some, or a few, whatever. The point is, some are shared experiences, and by me sharing mine, I'm hoping to, number one, create a sense of awe, mystery in you, so that it gives you this urge to look for yourself. This urge to look for myself is how I found aspects of life that I had no idea were, I want to say real, but I can't even say real. It creates another dimension of life and reality that seems like reality. It creates another dimension of your existence, as it has for me, that makes life feel much more rich. It makes life feel also more difficult at times. It brings in, if you're open, a plethora of new, something different. It gives a new flavor to life. Something else I want to share, really, through language, we can't really express ourselves in a way that is really deeply meaningful. It cuts all of our truths in tiny pieces. And the thing is, each one of our truths that we say in that moment might be true in that moment, but only from our limited perspective. A small amount of time may pass, and that previous truth may be shattered from a new perspective. And in this way, it seems like the passing of time, we're continually growing. We can't speak about truth as though it is something stable in the way that I'm speaking about it now. And in the way I'm speaking about it now, the reason is that the world I tend to be, we tend to want to preach our understandings, give it to the world, give. But at the same time, I'm recognizing that this is not something that others need to hear as much as it is something that I need to do. The only thing I feel something I found that I feel is more valuable, at least now, so this is my truth right now, is the ability to connect inwards. And I just want to share with you something that worked for me. These types of visualizations are different for everyone, and if this resonates with you, great. So when I imagine connecting to the inner body, one way that I've found that seems to be very effective as of late, more effective so far than any other technique, until the next, stepping stones. So this one, I imagine connecting from the top, the crown, to the tail, through my spine. I imagine simply turning on a switch and turning on the connection. That's it. No elaborate anything, just simply turning on the connection from here to here, from head to tail, just turning it on. I don't even visualize what it looks like. And in the instant that I do this, I instantly feel a sense of relief, however minuscule, from whatever situation I find myself in. I've had other techniques that I've used, or visualizations that I've used, to get me into that same state of feeling. And I've noticed that every teaching I've ever heard, anything that's ever moved me in a certain way, that's given me that sense of release from anxiety, if you will, release from the heavy story the mind can create, has always been the same, except there have been different ways to reach it, to reach that same. And in this time for me, visualizing, connecting, head to tail, just turning it on, like as if you just flick a switch. You don't need to understand how it works. You simply just turn in the spine, and you feel it instantly. I do anyways. I'm not saying you will. You might. So all of these things are pointing to the same inner experience. And going out on a limb a little bit here, but I believe, based on the experiences that I've had, that this connection, this magical, invisible, imaginary, whatever you want to call it, messing up my words, connection, is the same thing that I felt when I was during the Kundalini awakening experience that I had. Now, I don't know if this is real, but it's very similar. So, whether it's real or not, drop it. Is it useful? And for me it is. And it's really that simple. The instant I connect, I feel a release. Again, however minuscule. And the ability to stay centered so that you're not being polarized by what you see in the world around you, so that you don't lose your center, don't overreact, underreact. To remain centered so that you can act true to you. I've read a few comments when people had said, I seem connected, or I seem, they see something in me, either whether they're looking into my eyes, and I'll tell you, the only thing they're seeing is that connection that I'm talking about in this video. And throughout the time that I had what I call my spiritual awakening, which is not the Kundalini awakening, this has happened previous to the Kundalini. I don't know if it was Kundalini, but point is, this other experience is where I had this awakened to me, this new sense. And I found that I can simply connect to it. And I've been trying to explain to people how to connect to it, because I've done all types of different drugs. I've had a lot of different experiences throughout my life. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this simple connecting to that the inner part of you, I don't even know how to say it, is more satisfying to me in so many different levels. No matter how many experiences you have with drugs, you're in a very dualistic. Let me rephrase that. No matter what you experience during drugs, you have a lot of negative with the positive too. So it's this going in, so you kind of have to prepare yourself a lot of times. Anyone that's done a lot of drug knows this. You kind of have to have a very tough mind, to go into these types of trips. And with meditation and just connecting to this inner, deeper, I don't even know how to say it, doesn't seem to have a single negative. But it carries all of the bliss and enjoyment that I've ever had from drugs ever. So it seems like a clean high. I've heard people like Sadhguru and all these gurus talk about they feel a state of bliss, constantly high. And I don't know if this is what they mean, but it feels like that to me. I would describe that in the same way. I've heard Sadhguru said he'd never tried drugs. I've tried drugs, and I can tell you there are some relation, but the negativity from the drugs are not there. So you can get high on your own supply. Unlimited. And I've tested this even on my darkest of days. Even though I've had a bad day, it's always been there. So it always helps, and that's why I said earlier in the videos, no matter how minuscule. Because on the darker days, it might not be quite as powerful. On a day like today, like I'm feeling, it is extremely powerful. It's like temperature, it goes up and down. Your ability to sense it based on how distracted you are goes up or down. Another way to get in, have you ever just done this like I just did? And that instant that comes before thought, as soon as you let it out, is that same space without a connection and through the physical. I'll leave that to you to play with, to enjoy, to experiment as a bee hovers around me. Wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, there's the bee. Peace.